You're in a meeting and you bring an idea, but no one seems to notice. 10 minutes later, your colleague repeats it and everybody loves it. I'm Marianne, I teach Nonviolent Communication, and I'm going to give you 3 options of what you can do. But first, let's get your mindset straight. Because ideally, our job security wouldn't be based on our individual results and whether people notice those. But unfortunately, in Western society, that is kind of the case. Keep in mind that your need might be for, being noticed for your value, your job security, and also kind of breaking certain dynamics of power, because this most often happens to women, people of color, people who just started to work somewhere. So it's important to keep that in mind, so you have this self-compassion of, I'm actually doing this for some important need. Let's look at what not to do, because with nonviolent communication we would recommend not to share your judgment. So for example, to say, I think it's not okay that he's just stealing my idea. This is where you're putting the attention further away from your original idea, and it makes it harder for your team to connect with you. Instead, choose one of these 3 options depending on your work environment. Option 1 is the non-confrontational option. Oh, maybe you didn't hear when I shared this exact same idea before. Let me expand a bit on it. I'm glad to hear you're on board with my idea, so let me explain it further. Thanks for mentioning my idea again. I'd love to provide more details. In this way, you're acknowledging yourself and kind of taking the mic back on the idea. Step 2 is the more direct way, more like classical nonviolent communication, although as you're going to see, we leave out the feeling. We're just sharing an observation and a need. While repeating what I just said, and I'd like it if in our team we give proper acknowledgement to contributions. You are repeating my idea, and I'd like to give credit where credit is due. Note that in these examples, you're not just sharing your individual pain, you're actually creating a culture for your team, which is, I think, more powerful. And number 3 is to make a joke. Again, depending on your team culture, right? But you could say, for example, I love that idea, and I also loved it when I said it last week. I also heard about a girl who would, on Zoom meetings, she would just hold up a paper that said, that's what I just said. What works even better is to stand up for other people. So for example, I know that Obama's team, the female staff would actually repeat each other's words, so they made sure that they were actually being heard. So do this, be an ally for other people, especially underprivileged colleagues. It's nice to see you building on Aliya's idea. Sounds like you agree with what Jen just said. That's what Vikram just said. Could you share more about it, Vikram? Here's some women mentioning how they felt when their male colleagues did this for them. Now, if you want to use NVC at work, I would recommend to check the top annoyances that people might have about it, so you can prevent doing those. And also, if you'd like to empower yourself more with nonviolent communication, come to my webinar called NVC for People Pleasers to learn how to do that. Bye!